Hello everyone and welcome to my corner of the world. Today I don't know if it's a fun fold or a technique or what, but this is our card that we're going to do today. And as you open it up, you can see that it has a frame cut in the middle of the front, and then this bit opens, and this is where you can write your "To You, love from me" in there. And maybe just thought that's crossed my mind, if you were giving a gift card, you could perhaps just pop a little pocket here and be able to slip a gift card in there. So that's our card for today, and we're going to start with introducing you to the products I've used. So the Cheerful Daisies Stamp Set is one that I have used before in a video, and it has the coordinating dies which I have used to create my embellishments. And I'm also using the deckled rectangle dies. And so there's a set, you can see, I think there's 8 in there, and I'm using, I think it's the third largest, but I'll confirm that in a minute. So I had done a little bit of prep ahead of time, and I cut out my embellishments, and this is like a 2-layer flower daisy. So there's the background, and then there's the sort of top layer to give you the detail. So I've cut, if you like, the backgrounds out of basic white card, and then the highlight pieces are in distressed gold. Now, they're obviously not symmetric, so I'm going to share with you a few hints and tips about how to line these up so that the petals and the highlight bits all match up together. So if you look at the white piece, there's kind of some real short petally pieces here and some longer ones here. And if you look at this, then it's the same. There's some short petally pieces and some long ones. So what you need to do is to kind of just, okay, so I'm going to keep the long ones at the bottom, and I'm going to just sort of just see there, look, it slots into place. And you can see that there's a nice border, and I'm going to attach them with some liquid. You could use whatever adhesive that you would like. If you're going to use like a Stampin' Seal, you need to be very careful to make sure that you don't tear these pieces. And then you can just sort of line them up until they all fit in. This one, again, the same thing. Here's your long petally pieces at the top and the short ones at the bottom. Long ones and short ones here. So that's going to go like that. So again, a little bit of adhesive. And I'm just putting literally a schmear, if you into bagels with cream cheese. Just the tiniest little bit. I don't know if I can bring that up and just show you. It's just the tiniest, weeniest little amount, because you don't want it to all sort of squish out onto your card base here. And that one just needs to be just gently moved round. There it is. And then the last one is just easy peasy, because obviously there's only one way for it to go. So again, a tiny smear. and we can just I've got that back to front, no wonder it won't work. So note to self, make sure that you've got your white piece the right way round, because otherwise it won't work. So there's my three flowers all ready to go, and I'm just going to set them above here just to set up. And then this die set has also got a nice label, and so I'm going to use the stamp that says wishing you the brightest birthday. And hopefully I'll get this lined up. There we go, that's not too bad. And I used the Moody Mauve there. So now we've got our embellishments done. I also pre-cut a couple of these lovely sort of ferny pieces that again, the die is in the same stamps, is in the same set, so I'm not using bits from lots of different pieces, so lots of different products. If you follow me, you know that I like to try and use one stamp set and one with coordinating dies or coordinating punches. Sometimes I need to go and just pull something extra, like today with the decal edge dies, but that's the way I like to roll. So again, I'm going to pop those to one side there. Right, so now we have our card, and this piece is wild wheat, and it measures 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it at 4.25, and I'm just going to go ahead and put in my fold. And then I have this piece, which is 8 by 5.25, and I've scored it at 4, and this is just the standard white cardstock. So just line up my corners and put in my fold. And I want to do a tiny little bit of stamping on here, as well as on my envelope. And so I've got this stamp again that's from the stamp set, that's just like a little cluster of daisies. And again, I'm going to use the Moody Mauve. So I'm just going to put catty corner on my inside piece, and making sure my envelope's the right way up, I'm just going to pop that on my envelope. So just making sure the flap is at the top, rather than, because there's a number of times when I've actually stamped it in the wrong place. So I'm good to go. So that's basically all my stamping that's done. Now you may wonder, well, why have I got these, have I chosen these colours? And this is the reason. This is one of the papers from Fresh as a Daisy designer series pack, and you can see we've got white, we've got Moody Mauve, we've got wild wheat and bubble bath. And I seriously thought about using the bubble bath instead of the wild wheat, but I thought, well, you know, that wild wheat with the Moody Mauve is such an unusual combination that I want to take it further. I'd like to use that combination. Okay, now we're going to work on our card base. So we're going to cut a hole in the middle of it, and I'm going to share with you my technique for doing that. So I've got my cut and emboss machine, and I have my #1 plate down here, that's my base plate. Then I have my #2, that's my cutting adapter there. And then I've got one number 3 plate. So this is my well-loved and much used cutting plate. You can see that it's done a lot of sterling service, and I'm going to pop that on the top. Then I'm going to pop my card base down. And because I haven't done anything to this card base yet, haven't stuck anything, haven't stamped anything, it doesn't really matter which side I actually cut on at this point, because it's going to work whichever way. So I'm going to lay my die down, and I'm going to just hold it in place with a bit of this sticky note tape. And I'm going to make sure everything is squared up, and just pop that down like that so it doesn't move. Then we're going to put another number 3 plate on the top, and making sure everything is nice and square. Just put some push behind that and just gently crank it through like that. And that is our frame cut. Now, the piece in the middle we don't need, although maybe that's what you could do a little pocket with if you wanted to make it into a gift card. You could sort of cut it again and make a little pocket, put another piece of decorative paper on. That's another thought, just came to me while we were doing this. So that's that. Now we're going to emboss it. So I'm going to take away the number 2 and the number 3 plate. We don't need those for embossing. And I'm using the exposed brick embossing folder. And this is lovely. It's got some brickwork, and it's got some I don't know, stucco falling off, and it's got a few blank places, and it is really lovely one to use. So leaving the number 1 plate or base at the bottom, I'm going to place the side with the hole cut in it so that fold is up against the edge of the embossing folder. And then I'm going to put it hinge first onto my platform, and I'm going to slide this through until the edge of my I think it's a number 4 plate, embossing plate, is level with the embossing folder. And then I'm just going to gently crank it through. You can see that I mark up my embossing plate just to remind myself to just use it. And it is a number 4. So when we've done that, then we've got our lovely effect. And we now know that this is going to be the front of our card. So let's just clear some space and move some stuff out of the way. So that's how you cut a hole in the front of your card and emboss it. And you cut first, emboss second, because if you emboss first and then cut, then as you put the cut through, you put it through the die to cut, it'll flatten out your embossing, and it won't be as pretty as you hoped it would be. Okay, so now we've got that done. We're going to take the piece that we stamped, this inside piece, and you're going to attach it to the inside of the card, but you must make sure that the fold is to the right hand side, is to the open edge of your base card. I know we naturally think of doing it like that, but the whole point is that the card then will open like that. So we're going to attach that to the inside of our card. And I'm using my liquid. You could go ahead and use whatever you prefer, like that. And just center it up. I've left a margin around mine. And then a piece of the paper. Now, the dimensions for this card will be on my blog. And if you look below this video, there will be a link that will take you exactly to the post for this card, so that you're not hunting and pecking through my blog to find it. It will take you straight there. Right, so there we've now got our beautiful frame around our very pretty paper, and then to open up to read the To You Love from me. So I am going to just flip this over, and on the back I'm going to just use my bone folder to put in a good firm crease. And the reason I'm doing it on the back is so I don't flatten my embossing on this side. There we go. Real pretty. Love it. All right. Now, usually when we put our embellishments on a card, we have a tendency to put the adhesive on the back of the embellishment and then stick it onto the card. But as you can see, because my embellishments actually lean into the frame, then if we put adhesive anywhere here, it's going to stick to the inside of the card and we won't be happy at all. So we're going to use mini dimensionals, or if you don't have those, you can always take standard dimensionals and cut them in half. And we're going to also use some glue dots. Now I'm going to start by putting my little ferny pieces down, and I want to put them so that they're sort of at the end of my flowers, but they've also got to be within the footprint of my card. So in order to make that happen, I am just going to put a glue dot down. I'm going to go pop a glue dot on the frame, and then I'm just going to place my little ferny piece there. And then the other one I'm going to have up here a bit, because I'm going to sort of do this, and kind of do that. That's how I'm going to arrange my flowers. So again, I'm going to put a glue dot on the frame, and then making sure that my fern doesn't go outside my footprint there. So those are those two pieces. Now this one, I think if we have, so it's a case of, would it be better to have like the longer petals closer to, or the shorter petals? And it's, you know, whatever gives me a good place to put my dimensional. Now looking at this, I think if I put one under there, and I'm just sticking it onto the frame, as I said, like that. And then I think I need to put one underneath here. And there. So I think those are going to be my best bets. Right, so we get the backing off of those. And again, making sure that my flower doesn't go over the edge of my card base. And see, so we can't see anything from the bag except the little flower. And then here, right, I think I'm going to put, this one's a little bit easier. I'm going to put one over there, just here. And this one I can always attach to my other flower. That would work, because I haven't got to worry about it peeking through the frame. So again, like that, just gently lift up and tuck it underneath there. So that is on that flower, and it's not going to go through and stick in the wrong place. Okay, so how did I have this? I've forgotten how I had this now. There we go. And then our last little piece. Now I want him to be quite long to catch up with that extra piece there. So again, it looks like I'm going to put one there, like that. Maybe it would look better like that. Okay, I'm going to move this down a little bit now. Right, and then I'm going to put another one just there. And take the backing off, and I'll slip that one underneath maybe. There. I'm just looking at that. I think I put that a really bit too high. So I'm just going to tuck it underneath like that. And swiggle it around so that it doesn't go outside the footprint. And I think we are about done, although I was going to put some pretties on there, and I've lost them, but never mind. You can see this one where I've put some of the in colour dots. So that's the Moody Mauve as well as the Wild Wheat ones. Oh, just realised, didn't put my greeting in there. Heavens. So I'm just going to go in with the small ones this time I can put my dimensionals directly onto my label, because I'm going to attach it here. So it's actually going to be on the decorative paper. And just make sure it's level, like that. And there we have a really pretty card with a frame. Well, I do hope you've enjoyed this one. If you perhaps you'll go ahead, give me a thumbs up. If you don't already subscribe, perhaps you'll do that and share my video. And as I say, remember that there's more information below. And I just want to thank you for joining me today, spending a little bit of time with me, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Well, bye-bye for now.